Welcoming you guys to another video. My name is Polydude, and today we're gonna be talking about 7 things that need to return in Pokémon Legends ZA. Let's dive into it. All right, so first up, I'm gonna preface this. There have been so many leaks out this week for Pokémon Legends ZA and more. We're not gonna be diving into all the nitty-gritty stuff. I'm sure a bunch of other channels have already covered it, but we are gonna mention a few things that are in relation to this video. No major spoilers, but just some small things that kind of relate to the things I'm gonna talk about. We're not gonna talk about megas or anything like that. I'll just confirm if it's already in the game or not, if I know. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into number 1. Okay, so number 1 on this list is gonna be the linking cord item. This item acted like an evolutionary stone for your trade evolutionary Pokemon. Graveler into Golem, Kadabra into Alakazam, and so on and so forth. It also went for all of the other kind of trade hold items. So the one that evolved Electabuzz into Electivire and Magmar into Magmortar. You could just use them to evolve your Pokemon. It was super simple. Can we please have this back? I don't know why they removed this in the first place, so it's not in Gen 9, but it would just be incredibly helpful to have these so you don't have to necessarily have a friend or an extra copy of the game or whatever other means or methods like Pokemon Home to trade it in. It just would make one fluid, cohesive experience. Oh, I have this item just to evolve my trade evolutionary Pokemon so I can complete the Pokedex. That's it. Let's just bring it back. Let's bring it back. All right, on to number 2. All right, so number 2 on this list, you guys, is gonna be mass release Pokemon in Legends Arceus. In your pastures, not your PC, in your pastures, you were able to like open up and see all your Pokemon in that pasture, and then you could like select a whole bunch of them, and then you could release them all at once, instead of having to release them one at a time. Or upload them into Pokemon Home, where you can then do the mass release, which still doesn't make any sense to me. So please, bring this feature back. It's really small. It's like really small. I don't think it would take a lot to just bring it back. All right, so at number 3, we have the audible shiny sound. So the very first overworld Pokemon game where we had shiny Pokemon was Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu. And in these games, you could see if the Pokemon was shiny, but when you came into proximity of it, it didn't make any sort of noise. It just had a special overworld sparkly effect, and you just had to run into it to get that standard battle encounter and the shiny animation and all that jazz. So that was our first iteration of this. And then we had Pokemon Legends Arceus, which introduced that audible sound that we all know, you know, brum, shiny, there you go. Once you came close into proximity of it, you heard that sound even if you didn't see it. And so that was awesome. I really loved this feature of shiny hunting Pokemon, where it just was a part of the experience. You just heard the Pokemon, you could look around. It just made me feel more secure in my shiny hunting and that I didn't miss one. And then in Scarlet and Violet, they didn't include this. So we went right back to where we were with Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and you could start failing shinies left and right if you weren't paying attention, especially if they're really small on the screen. So anyway, I really hope this comes back, which I do know that it comes back because of the leaks, so I'm going to bring that up now. This is something that was leaked, but we do know and can confirm that there is that audible shiny sound coming back to Pokemon Legends ZA, which I'm super excited about. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, if you preferred the overworld shiny sound or if you just preferred not to have one. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. And on to number 4. Number 4 is mass outbreaks. So in Legends Arceus, this was the whole game that introduced mass outbreaks, at least as we know them today. And these mass outbreaks were just really fun to do quick shiny hunting and try and get those ones specifically that you wanted. I was a big fan of it, and then it was also brought back into Scarlet and Violet, and I thought it was implemented pretty well there. And you could also boost those odds further with the shiny sandwiches. So I don't know if we're gonna have anything like that. I don't know if we're gonna have shiny sandwiches or cooking or anything like that. I haven't dived super deep into those leaks or know for sure. But I just think even bringing back the mass outbreaks was really great for if you wanted to get that specific shiny, that one that was your absolute favorite. This was great for that. So I really enjoy this, and I hope this makes a comeback for Pokemon Legends ZA. Number 5, you guys, is gonna be marks. Introduced in Generation 8, marks are like ribbons only found on wild Pokemon. And there's a small chance that they actually will be on that wild Pokemon when you catch them. But what's really cool is the titles that come with that mark on that Pokemon. So it just makes them a little bit more personalized, and I seem to treasure them a little bit more on my playthrough and my whole Pokemon journey. And I just find them really fun to also collect. And I'm crazy enough to try and get all the marks on shiny Pokemon. So there is that. but I know it wasn't in Pokemon Legends Arceus, but I think it would be a great improvement moving forward to have them in Pokemon Legends ZA. Let me know what you guys think, Marks. Okay, so number 6 is gonna be battling and catching legendary and mythical Pokemon. So in Legends Arceus, we had some really cool boss fights, and we also had ones against mythical Pokemon that are usually really hard to get a hold of legitimately, if it's not like an event or something like that. So we had Manaphy and Darkrai and Shaman that we were able to battle and catch, and we could add to our own personal decks, even though we couldn't shiny hunt them, which was a little bit annoying. But I think this would be a great opportunity for in Kalos and Gen 6 to have these fights and catch them, because they're really hard to get a hold of. Like, I don't even know if I have a legit Diancie. So Diancie and having a Mega would be really cool to have. We have Volcanion and we have Hoopa, and Hoopa is also in the DLC, so I don't know if that will be later on, but just having a way to get these Pokemon legit and not have to wait for an event years and years later would be awesome. So please, let's just bring that back. Let's bring some of those mythicals back and have a way to catch them. That way we don't have to wait for an event. They're just in the game and we can catch them. So number 7, you guys, is going to be shiny hunting legendary Pokemon. In Pokemon Legends Arceus, you weren't allowed to shiny hunt any of them because they were shiny locked, and in pretty much every mainline series game except for Scarlet and Violet, you were able to shiny hunt some sort of legendary Pokemon. So I'd really love to see this come back, and especially if it's introduced into a Legends game, that would be even cooler. But I am not super confident that this is going to make a return. But I can still speculate, and maybe this will be like in the DLC where we have like the space hole thing, and you can go through there like the ultra wormholes, and you can find legendary Pokemon and maybe reset for them to be shiny, and you can do a boss raid fight with them. And I think this is really cool speculation, but maybe that's just me. I just really miss shiny hunting legendary Pokemon in some way, and it'd be really cool to have an alternate way of getting like shiny Groudon and Miraidon, especially since a lot of people weren't able to get those. So, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. What are some things that you want to see in Pokemon Legends ZA before it comes out? And we are days away. So let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next one, and it'll probably be about Legends ZA. So peace, I'll see you guys in the next one.